of my speech is swimming with cement shoes, and it is 5 to 7 minutes. Have you ever had someone come up with a negative opinion about you and your abilities? Anybody here? Okay, I did. When I was 15, I was sitting in a classroom in honors English. A note came to the teacher asking me to report to the principal. I walked in, sat down, and waited for whoever was supposed to see me. In a couple minutes, I was brought to a back room. It turned out that my brother had been abused. And because I shared a room with him, I was the most likely suspect. Not exactly what you want to hear as a 15-year-old boy. I sat down there and answered the questions from the investigators about my mom's suspicions, and they gave my mom an opportunity. Either they take all their children and put them in foster homes while they investigated this particular crime, or they subjected me to a mental institution until my name was cleared. My parents, not wanting to break up the family, decided on the latter. So I was hauled off into a mental institution for 35 days. I missed Christmas, New Year's, and my birthday. The scene was very similar to the movie A Girl Interrupted. Everything from playing the games to being watched and controlled. When I got out, they immediately took me out of my honors English class, as well as my other honors classes, and put me into special ed, figuring that was the best place for me. Special ed was going from Algebra 2 to basic math, going from biology to whether or not I could pick a frog out of an animal book. Not exactly the same type of education. We sat down and we did an IEP. That's an interpersonal education plan, which kind of set the goals for me for the remaining years that I would be there and then onward after high school. They told me that because I was in the mental institution, I was a schizophrenic. I would never go to college because I couldn't handle the workload. I would never be able to hold a job because I just couldn't handle it. I would never be able to live alone because I lacked the skills to do so. I would never have a girlfriend because I lacked interpersonal skills. Not exactly the most enthusiastic IEP plan. However, they convinced my parents that the best choice for me was to put me into a boarding care home, where I was heavily drugged, I was very much controlled, I didn't have the opportunity to leave or to move on. But I was determined that I was not mentally ill. After all, I did not molest my brother or abuse him in any way. So once I turned 18, I got together with psychologist after psychologist after psychologist, trying to get anybody to listen to me and give me a chance to prove all the naysayers wrong. After about 3 years, I had one take pity on me. We sat and we talked for several sessions, and I finally looked at him and I said, send me to any psychologist, any other organization that you want. And if they determine that I am mentally ill, I'll accept my fate, stay in the boarding care home, drugged, controlled, etc. However, if they can't find a single ounce of mental illness within me, let me live my life. My parents came and tried to talk me out of doing this. They said, you're going to give up your home. You're going to give up your money. you're going to give up any type of a life, and you're going to end up on the streets alone. I didn't care. I wasn't mentally ill. I was not going to be controlled. I was not going to be medicated. So the first thing I did is I went to college, and I got a degree. I got a degree in psychology, of all things. I figured if they were going to label me that way, I might as well at least know something about it. 25 years later, I got a second degree in philosophy. And on top of that, I got a certificate in management and supervision. I got a girlfriend, and we were together for 4 years. We broke up over morals and values, but I was able to hold on to a girlfriend for 4 years. And then I got another one for another 4 years. 4 years seemed to be my limit on girlfriends. I moved out of my parents' house, and I lived on my own. I paid my bills. I got up on time. I went to work. In fact, I stayed at work for Mervyn's until they went out of business. Then I went to Sears. I stayed at Sears till they went out of business. And then I went to another Sears until they went out of business. And now I work at a gas station. My name's Peter Blake. I am the man that was not supposed to be able to have a girlfriend. I was the man that was not supposed to be able to live alone. I was the man that was not supposed to have a job. I was not the man that was supposed to have a life. The state of California eventually overturned my schizophrenia diagnosis. And for 35 years, I have been off all medication, off all psychologists, off all programs whatsoever. Today, I am moving forward. The story's not over. I joined Toastmasters and made it past the first few rounds. I guarantee you, I will be on that stage in a few years fighting for that title. I will continue to be the best employee I can be. I will continue to get degree after more education, after more education. I will continue to have relationships with family and friends and girlfriends down the line. Remember my name. Etch it in your memory, because at some point you will remember it, and it will come back, and you will be able to move forward. Don't let anybody's negative opinion keep you from doing what you need to do. This is life. We are meant to succeed. And by God, I am doing it. Thank you very much.